Starfield is an expansive and intriguing world for one of my favorite developers, Bethesda. And with all the hype around the game and even the new Xbox controller and console skins, I felt like PC players deserve a little more. And with my previous experience making the Halo Infinite keyboard, I figured I could give PC players a keyboard they deserve. A keyboard that could fit in the Starfield universe, so I partnered with absolutely no one and set off on this journey. I purchased the Zoom 65 a year back when I first started my YouTube channel. If you haven't heard of the Zoom 65, it's a 65% keyboard kit with an aluminum frame, bronze knob, and backplate. It's a pretty good looking keyboard with a decent sound. Not the best sound, but the flex on the board does provide an amazing typing experience. Well, I scratched the frame. Filming this video, I took a big chip out of the top case and it's been bothering me ever since, so I figured building a keyboard with a Starfield theme and fixing my Zoom 65 was a huge win-win, so let's get started. When I took everything apart, I realized I'm a slob that doesn't deserve keyboards, but I'll skip this because that's gross. If you're wondering why there's a weird fog in the camera, it's because I just got a new camera and I really don't want to get spray paint on it, so it's in a Ziploc baggie. Please keep watching, I promise the payoff is worth it. First, I have to use a paint stripper and spend the next 3 hours stripping layer after layer and scraping everything off with the aluminum brush. This was probably the most difficult part, but once it's all cleaned off, I had a perfect aluminum case, and I was half tempted just to leave it like this because it looked that good. Someday, I'll get a keyboard manufacturer to send me a case without any paint on it to save me some steps. Seriously though, anyone who makes a keyboard out there and wants a theme to build, my DMs are open. But it just goes to show how beautiful this keyboard is under all that paint, even though this is technically a cast and not a CNC. Next step was to use some standard self-etching primer on both pieces. Let that dry, and while that dries, I had the best idea. The bottom of the Zoom 65 has this brass metal plate, and the bottom of this plate looks a lot like a space exploration theme. The design has an engraved telescope with the exact same stars in the Starfield logo. So instead of trying to reinvent the wheel and paint something by hand that'll most likely mess up, I'm going to paint the inside of the engraving white and use it to represent the Starfield look and feel. Thankfully, it's indented, so painting it and wiping up the excess is super quick and easy. Now that everything's dry, I went with a white top coat for this. It'll give it a nice white space NASA theme. Alright, we're halfway there. We have the top frame good to go, and the bottom frame currently is still using its primer coat. I honestly could stop here entirely, but the Xbox controller and console skin both have this nice crimson red backplate, and stopping at green white would be a disservice to the overall look of Starfield, which is known as NASA steampunk. So I wanted to match up with that. So back to painting, and to paint that final coat of red across the back. And I am so happy with how this tone worked out. So there we are, halfway. The red is all done, just ignore the scuffy parts, that's gonna be covered up by a plate later, and the white and red theme is just perfect and ties this entire project together in my opinion. And with the gold accents, this is gonna be one of the best keyboards I've ever made. I'm going to be using lubed speed silver switches in this build. Not only do I love how low effort it is to type on these, they have a smooth feel and quiet sound, so I've really found a new appreciation for them. And if you want to pick up factory lubed speed silvers, I'll drop an Amazon link down below. For the keycaps, I found this set on Amazon for about $30, and while it does come with green ones, I'll have to swap ones out with my collection to fit the color scheme I'm going for. But these were the perfect I could find for the price, though there is an official Starfield set coming out soon. I'll actually drop links on Divinity and other sites that I know of that's publishing it, but with them being pre-order only and no official ship date, I need something to match before the release of the game and for this video to release on time. The Zoom 65 uses gaskets, and they are installed by yourself during the build process, and I had to scrape mine off when I was trying to strip all that paint, so I had to put some new ones on. Thankfully, since I've had the top plate of this keyboard placed so many times, I had a lot of spare gaskets. But once the gaskets are on, and you want to put the two top frames together, there are a few select switches you have to actually keep out in order to keep this thing together. Again, this keyboard was actually really difficult to build, but now that it's together, I can finally see the image I've had in my head for so long come to fruition. This is a very quick reminder to stick around to the end to hear the sound test.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Well, there you have it, the world's first Starfield keyboard, and I can say this is probably the best keyboard I've ever built in my life, and I don't think anyone could really top this. Maybe I should hold my thought before I say that. If you want to see more builds like this in the future, hit the like and subscribe button, because that's the only way I can justify actually doing this kind of stuff. And again, if anyone wants to collaborate on an actual keyboard build like this, they should reach out to me in my DMs in my email or also on any of my social media stuff. Thanks for watching Lucky Strike Tech, and I'll see you in the next one.